could have been to prison. No more remorse, no cases pinned. I got the rolling flooded, soaking wet, but ain't.
We're situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Los Angeles Chargers and the New York Jets. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Now Hall to start the drive. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game. And I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible. But we watched it happen.
On play action, it's Rodgers. Complete. A Jet first down, 18 big yards that time.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss. To throw, it's Rodgers. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
So many times I advocate not challenging coverage downfield, but on this play, I thought he made an excellent decision to actually do so. If that had been complete, that would have been one for the highlight reel.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll find Lamb crossing the formation for the catch. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him strong my defense.
Well, they started the drive backed up pretty deep, but a nice effort to overcome the field position, get into field goal range on the game's opening possession.
And, Brandon, I think from where they started, the initial thought was, can we get 1 or 2 first downs and help out our defense after we pump the ball away with field position? But as that drive went on, I think their sights got set a little bit higher. They were thinking touchdown, ended up settling in between and coming away with a field goal.
Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They started on the ground with Eckler. They find some open field, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, L.A. Extra point attempt to follow here. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone.
The Jets take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Rodgers. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Michael Davis.
Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. The Chargers will bring out the field goal unit now. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
The Jets take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, some guys, they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Another first down there as this one goes for 25.
On play action, now Rodgers. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
The Jets sitting at a very solid 4-2 record through the first 6 weeks. They come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And that will be incomplete.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
Nagar's kick is good, and that'll do it for the first quarter of play. 10-6 the score after one right here on EA Sports. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased, and they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Back to the air. Herbert on second down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now it's Herbert. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it, try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Hall again on 2nd down. And he'll be close to a 1st down at the Chargers' 24. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call.
1st down and goal to go.
Here's Rodgers. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Jets are once again back in front. The point after through the raindrops up and good. And that gives them a 3-point lead. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete, and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, it's still in the first half here. Long way to go.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. Fourth down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This is taken at about the 14. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now it's Rodgers.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers.
He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
On 2nd and 10, Rodgers steps away to his left. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Michael Davis. And the Chargers force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 27.
He'll hand off here to Eckler.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. On 2nd and 9.
Herbert, he'll get this out wide to Eckler.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Herbert. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Herbert now. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. He will be knocked down hard, but he will have the 1st down. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. From the 50, here's Herbert. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Here's Herbert. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked.
The tackle made back into the 13-yard line.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
And this drive was almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing is Rodgers. He's going to let this one go deep. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time.
Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And he will be out of bounds with no time remaining on what will be the final action of this first half.
So we've hit halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the home team, the Jets, leading this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. The Charger drive about to get going.
Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the 3rd quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one and set up to be a very entertaining 2nd half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went in at the half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the 2nd half and get us going?
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this 3rd down. Out of the gun, Herbert. Throw left side complete. That's Williams. And he is going to have the Chargers' first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Eckler, they run left side. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line.
And making the tackle there, Jacoby Durant.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Herbert.
Williams brings it in. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Up the middle with Eckler. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. On the stop was Aaron Donald. A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Herbert. He finds his target, Allen. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Running on 1st down, Eckler. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Austin Eckler with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Chargers have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Extra point up and through, and that will make this a 4-point game. Taken in at the 3. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent, still the same in what they plan to do on offense.
Paul on a give up the middle. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week, he hit on right at 50%. This week, he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On is the Chargers punter now as he's on to kick it away. Averaging over 50 yards of punt so far as this one's away. Taking it about the 16.
56 yards, the punt that time, 12 on the return. And the Jets will take over. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth-quarter lead. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. And he's got some space here. 30. 10. That all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Breece Hall, 69 yards. And the Jets use the defensive breakdown to take the lead away here in the fourth. Extra point by Nagar is up and good. And that gives him a 3-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Charger drive about to get going. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter. He's got a man complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. He's airing it out for Williams. And he's got it inside the 10. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Eckler now between the tackles. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team, both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Gets it into the hands of Allen on the jet sweep. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back. Unsuccessfully.
And his kick is indeed good. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the fourth.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
Well, so much for the worry about how they would be after losing their lead. What a big-time return to seize the momentum back.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And we essentially have a brand-new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this fourth quarter. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap, because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now a play fake. Rodgers. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. On
1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And incomplete on the deep ball.
With how the coverage was positioned, up was about the only spot the quarterback had to try and deliver that pass. Just put a little too much height on it. Incomplete.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. CeeDee Lamb, 30 yards. And the Jets have broken our tie and have taken a 4th quarter lead. The extra point by Nagar is up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the 4th quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. They'll find Everett there, complete. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. 4th down for Herbert, desperation time. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position. Straight ahead is Hall. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Back to throw, Rodgers. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown. Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on 4th down. And now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the 4th quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the 1st down. And after that, the air just went right out of the balloon, and you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
The extra point by Nagar is up and good, and the lead now up to 14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, Charles, you remember their last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it, but you understand why they did in this close game late. Now, though, the road back is even tougher.
Yeah, no doubt about it, and it was fair to look back and say the 4th down was a moment where this one was decided. But as you mentioned, understandable about why they...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Obviously, Charles, this stage of the game, down 2 scores, they had to put the football in the air. Unfortunately, it gets picked off.
And the criticism comes easily in situations like this, but you just laid it out. Look where they are on the scoreboard. Look at where the clock is in the game. He has to take a chance here and try and get the ball downfield to his receivers. Unfortunately, it was picked off. That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Rodgers throwing here. And caught by Thomas. He's got a Jets touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Jets are about to make it 4 straight as they end this 4th quarter advantage. Extra point by Nagar is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Charger drive about to get going. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. That's big Cameron Hayward adding another sack to his career total. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Back to throw here, Herbert. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Herbert setting up to throw on 1st down. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. One last throw here for Herbert. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Well, the lopsided affair finally coming to an end, and really